The Galaxy Z Trifold is finally here. We've been waiting for this device throughout this year, wondering when Samsung was going to release it. It is finally here. Samsung figured after Thanksgiving was the best time to bless us with the Z Trifold. Now, this device is truly unique and awesome. We've seen only one other trifoldable from Huawei. So how does Samsung's device really stack up? Now, big shout out to Supersaf because he got hands on this device, and I'm using his content to kind of just gauge what device this device is and how it actually functions. So the first thing you want to note with the Z Trifold is that it opens up to a massive 10-inch display, which is gorgeous. Looks absolutely great. Of course, it's a dynamic AMOLED 2X display. Very nice, 120 Hz refresh rate, both for the internal 10-inch display and the external cover display. Now, what people have to understand is that this device does not open up into just a regular foldable. It goes from a regular smartphone to a 10-inch tablet. There are only two modes for this device because when you open up the Z Trifold, it opens up all the way left. So basically your cover display becomes the middle display and then opens up out. That's how it works. Now, if you were to close it from the other end, where basically the side that has the camera, and fold from right to left, you will be given a warning telling you that is not how to close the device. You have to go the other way around. So that is something I have to put out there, which is very different from what Huawei actually offers. And this might be an interesting perspective. I think Samsung is trying to do that separation where if you want just a regular foldable that does, of course, a 8-inch display, the Z Fold 7 is there for you. But if you want something that goes bigger, and does a lot more for you, that is what the Galaxy Z Trifold it does. Now, let's look at the dimensions, and we just kind of look at it side by side versus Z Fold 7. Now, in terms of the cover display, 6.5 inches, they kind of look very similar. And you can kind of see the perspective there. But when you stack them next to each other, Galaxy Z Trifold is a bit thicker, but honestly not by much. Now, the Trifold, when folded, is roughly 12.9 millimeters thick. Of course, compared to the 8.9 for the Z Fold, which again, that's roughly around like 4 millimeters in difference. But compared to the Z Fold 6, which is only 12.1, this is almost the same thickness as the Z Fold 6. So that is an impressive thing to do for a trifold. And then when you open it all out in terms of just unfold it all together, it's actually thinner than the Z Fold 7. So the Z Fold 7 comes at 4.2 millimeters when fully open, while the Trifold comes at 3.9 at its thinnest point. And that is the side of the device with the SIM tray. The cover display, which is actually the center, is 4.2, and the furthest out with the side buttons is 4.0. So different dimensions there, but at its thinnest is 3.9. Which is quite interesting. Now, this device also is IPX48 resistance, which means, again, do not jump into pools with it. It's just got some resistance for splashes and things like that on there. But in terms of internals, we have something that is similar to kind of like the Z Fold 7. We do have the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy in there, which is nice to see. We were hoping for an 8 Elite Gen 5, but again, I expect Samsung to save that for their S26 when that comes out. But again, still powerful chip in there. And we also have a 5600 milliamp battery, so a much bigger battery here. I was hoping for a much larger size, but Samsung is not using silicon carbon batteries yet. So that's a bit of a bummer, but charging is at 45-watt charging for this device, which is kind of to be expected for Samsung. Currently, that's the highest charging they offer for any of their devices, which is there. Now, the camera has pretty much the same similar cameras you find with the Z Fold, as well as the Galaxy S25 Ultra, where your main sensor is a 200 megapixel wide sensor. Your ultra wide camera is 12 megapixels, and then you have, of course, 10 megapixels for your telephoto. Now, the cover display also has a 10 megapixel selfie, and the main 10-inch display has a 10 megapixel sensor as well. As you can see, there's a camera cutoff for that. So this doesn't have that under display camera. Thank God. I'm glad that they've gone away from that, which is cool. You're looking at 16 gigabytes of memory for the device with either 512 or 1 terabyte storage options. Hopefully Samsung goes to 2 terabytes for devices like this, because you're going to be spending a lot of money anyway, so you might as well get the max amount of storage built in for this device. Now you're looking at Corning Gorilla Glass Ceramic 2 for the cover display. The back of the device is ceramic glass fiber reinforced polymer. Now for the frame and the hinge, you're looking at titanium hinge housing and advanced armor aluminum frame for the device. So that is quite interesting in terms of just the build of the device itself. It looks absolutely solid. Now, the one thing I did notice is that the bezels around the cover display look thicker. I think it's just the color and the way it actually looks, but overall the device looks solid, especially watching Saf navigate through the device and using it as a tablet. It is a 10-inch tablet and it feels really sturdy from just the way it actually handles. Now, one of the things I do like is also some of the multitasking with the device. So for instance, you can open up 3 linear apps side by side. So just imagine you opening up, say, all your short form apps, so your IG, your TikTok, and your YouTube Shorts, and you're kind of scrolling through to see how it all functions and also see how all your videos are doing in that regard. But again, for multitasking, this is great. Something like Dex will work really well. This might be Samsung's way of getting a computer with something like Dex all the way through. You can do that with the Z Fold, which is 8 inches, but going to a 10-inch display on the Galaxy Z Trifold makes it a much more desktop-like experience on the device overall. Now, there are a couple of cases that come with it, and you'll notice that the back of the device has the same shading as the Z Fold Special Edition, which I do like. There is a kickstand case, which I think is going to be probably standard for anybody buying this device, because you want to probably put on a kickstand so you can watch movies, whether you're traveling or anything like that. Overall, I am liking what I'm seeing here from Samsung. I like that they went a different route from what Huawei is doing and just trying to set that up separately, because they do have a very functional foldable with the Galaxy Z Fold, and they want to actually do some separation there. But I think this is a device that is meant for a certain type of people, not necessarily for everyone. Some things that really stand out with the Z Trifold is the fact that the hinge looks really solid with both hinges on this device. The crease itself is not as visible as I thought it would be, especially for a double foldable device itself. Display looks absolutely gorgeous. The main display, cover display, of course, looks good. And watching content on here, YouTube videos, movies, this is what it's built for. Dex, as I mentioned, also is going to be great. Typing on a keyboard. I mean, I can really see if Samsung could make like a foldable keyboard with this, so you can use like a mouse as well, and then you're good. Like, that should be like a combo pack added to this device so you can actually pick it up. And then one of the things that it's a bit concerning is when you open it or unfold the device, your cover display becomes your center display, and the cover display is exposed completely. So you're gonna have that in terms of scratches or things like that there. So you definitely want to put a screen protector, but I wonder how that works, if that will actually function properly. Speaking, let me know. What do you guys think? But this looks very, very interesting. I am super excited about this device. Excited to see what it brings to the table. Excited to try it out, use it, all that fun stuff. What do you think about the Galaxy Z Trifold? Do you like it? What do you think about it? Let me know. Leave your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and always enjoy your entertainment.